Welcome back, creeps. And if you're new here, welcome to the chaos. Welcome to the ridiculousness. Welcome to the spooky vibes. Every Monday, I dive headfirst into horror films, or films in general, with a mix of rants, praise, and unhinged commentary that honestly shouldn't be taken too seriously, but somehow it is. Today, we are talking about the brand new entry in the VHS anthology series, VHS Halloween, which you can stream now on Shudder. Now, before we dive into it, do the thing. Like this video because it actually helps more than you know. And I checked the numbers. 92% of you watching are not even subscribed. 92! That is basically the kill count of demonic toys. You can see for yourself over on Dead Meat. So smash that subscribe button, ring the bell so you never miss when I'm screaming about something dumb in horror. And if you really want to help fuel this mess, join my Patreon. My channel is a mix of chaos, humor, randomness, and spooky nonsense. So subscribing is basically an act of self-care. Also, quick announcement. I am officially in the running to be crowned the next style icon. This is not a drill. The competition is presented by Elton John. Yes, that Elton John, alongside David Furnish and Charlotte Tilbury. The winner heads to Versace's 2026 Milan Fashion Week. They get to land a spread in Flaunt magazine and $20,000. Now, if you buy extra votes to support me, those donations go directly to the Elton John AIDS Foundation. So vote, share the link, encourage others, because if I can't be the best horror reviewer on YouTube, at least let me be the most fashionable corpse at Milan Fashion Week. Also, just a quick note, this review is going to be a little bit different. There's no overlays, there's no clips, no visuals. I don't want to spoil how any of the segments look in case you want to experience them fresh. Oh, and after this, check out my short review for The Strangers Chapter 2. That's up now, but enough housekeeping. Let's talk about VHS Halloween. VHS Halloween is the 8th entry in the VHS series. If you've never seen one, the format is simple. A wraparound story that links together a bunch of short horror films, all presented as found footage. The idea is that you've discovered this haunted VHS and you're watching the chaos unfold segment by segment. Now, this one gives us 5 shorts with a wraparound called Diet Phantasma. Each short has its own characters, its own flavor of Halloween horror, and its own level of, wow, that was fun, versus, oh, no, why are we doing this? Let's walk through them, starting with the wraparound Diet Phantasma. This is the glue that's supposed to hold everything together. Instead, it feels like the off-brand tape you buy at a dollar store that barely sticks. The editing is wild, the cuts are jarring, and it never ties to the other stories in a way that feels satisfying. You've got scientists, experiments, and a cursed soda, but it plays more like a glitchy YouTube montage than authentic found footage. Every time it pops up between the shorts, it derails the flow instead of enhancing it. Now let's move on to our first segment, called Coochie Coochie Coo. The first short proper sets the tone with characters you want to throat punch in under 5 minutes. We meet 2 teens, Lacey and Kaylee, who decide to go trick-or-treating one last time. Spoiler free, let's just say they are absolute menaces. Loud, rude, the kind of kids you'd cross the street to avoid. Their chaotic night quickly turns ugly, but the way it's presented is the real issue. The editing glitches feel completely forced, like a door closes and the screen spasms. And then other moments go by with no glitch at all. It's inconsistent and it kills the immersion. The effects should feel unsettling, but the editing is so hyperactive that nothing ever lands. Even when something creepy is happening, the camera's glitching like it owes money to Comcast. So you can't even appreciate the moment. Now, the antagonist here should be the highlight, and the design is definitely strange, but instead of terrifying, it comes across goofy. By the end, the resolution doesn't fit with the way the characters were built up, and it left me more annoyed than scared. Moving on to segment number 2, titled As Above, So Below. Now, this is a Spanish short, and it takes a hard shift in style, centering on Enric, the lone survivor of a brutal massacre. Police bring him in for questioning, drag him back to the scene, trying to piece together what happened. On paper, that setup sounds tense, but the execution is messy. The short bounces between interrogation footage and flashback footage and crime scene photos, and those photos are distractingly sharp, like 4K razor sharp. You're sitting there thinking, why does this look like an Apple commercial when I am supposed to be watching a grimy VHS tape? It completely breaks the found footage illusion that the series is built on. The non-linear storytelling tries to add layers, but in the context of a VHS anthology, it feels out of place. Instead of feeling like you've uncovered a cursed tape, it feels like someone's indie police procedural that wandered into the wrong movie. That said, when the horror actually shows up, the practical effects are fantastic. They are gross, squirm-inducing, and exactly what you want out of a segment like this. The problem is, they don't linger long enough to really stick. So while there are flashes of something strong here, the overall package left me pulled out of the story rather than dragged deeper into it. Moving on to the third segment, titled Fun Size, is where things get messy in the best way. We follow Josh and his fiancée Lauren, along with their friends Haley and Austin, as they head out on Halloween night. Now, Haley is dressed as a superhero, Austin's rocking a pirate getup, while Josh and Lauren are armed with head-mounted cameras to record everything. Because why not? And here's the problem right away. The dialogue is painfully bad. Austin speaks like he's the poster child for "Daddy paid my tuition." Haley gives spoiled brat energy, and Josh, bless him, but he's so flat, he might as well be an IKEA bookshelf. He also insists on calling Lauren fiancé every other sentence, like we might forget their relationship status mid-segment. But here's the twist. It's actually fun. The premise quickly goes off the rails, and while it's not scary, it leans into absurdity so hard that it circles back to being entertaining. The villain design is bizarre, the kills are ridiculous, and the whole thing feels like an unintentional parody inside a horror anthology. It's chaotic, candy-coated nonsense, and honestly, I laughed more than I cringed. If the rest of the film had this much accidental charm, we would be in a better place. Still, if someone had just bumped Josh off first, I'd have given this short bonus points. Segment 4, titled Kid Print. Now, the tone whiplash hits. Kid Print ditches the silliness and drops you into a story that's bleak, grounded, and unsettling. This one follows Tim Kaplan, who records kids on Halloween night as part of a safety initiative. On the surface, it feels harmless. Kids saying their names, ages, their costumes, what they're doing. But underneath, there's an undercurrent of dread that builds fast. Now, what works here is the realism. Unlike the previous segments, this one doesn't feel like a joke. It feels possible. The performances sell the unease, the visuals creep under your skin, and the tone is heavy in a way that lingers. It's not campy, it's not goofy, it's just dark. And in a franchise that often goes for shock value, this short succeeds by being understated, but genuinely terrifying. It is easily the standout of the anthology. Not fun to watch, but unforgettable. Now, the anthology closes with the 5th segment, titled Home Haunt, which follows Keith, his wife Nancy, and their moody teen son Zach. Now, right away, Zach is the kind of character who's angry for sport. If eye rolling were an Olympic sport, he'd probably take home gold. The family invited the town into a haunted house attraction that they've made. And for once, the concept actually feels playful. The fun here comes from the setup. Props and decorations that look like harmless Halloween gimmicks, but behave in dangerously real ways. fire bursts, trap springs, and the effects are top-notch. The mix of fake-looking scares turning real gives this short a funhouse vibe that's spooky without ever being outright terrifying. The reactions from the family are surprisingly believable, which helps sell the chaos. But, like so many VHS entries, the ending just stops. No payoff, no final punch, just an abrupt cut that feels like someone yanked the tape out of the player. It's entertaining while it lasts, but the lack of closure drags it down. And every time we cut back to Diet Phantasma in between these segments, it never gets better. It remains confusing, pointless, and weirdly over-edited. By the end, I still didn't know what it was supposed to be doing. So here's the deal. VHS Halloween shows flashes of promise, especially when it leans on its practical effects and with the short kid print, which is easily the strongest and most effective piece of the bunch. But overall, it fumbles way more than it delivers. The wraparound story is messy and pointless. The editing is so distracting it pulls you out of the scares. The characters are often written to be unbearable, and almost every ending just cuts off like the filmmakers ran out of tape. It's not a total disaster. You can find moments of fun, especially in fun size, and some of the effects are worth a glance. But as a whole, it lands as a disappointment for me. So with all of that being said, I am giving VHS Halloween a D. And let me be clear, after all these years and all these sequels, VHS 2 is still the best the franchise has ever been, and nothing since has topped it. And that's my review on VHS Halloween. If you've made it this far, hit that like. It helps more than caffeine. And like I said,
92% of you aren't subscribed.
Which is rude to my spirit and my algorithm. So subscribe, ring the bell, and join my Patreon to keep the chaos coming every week. And again, vote for me in the Style Icon competition. Extra votes support the Elton John AIDS Foundation. Share the link, hype me up, and let's get me to Milan in 2026 serving spooky couture. Thanks for hanging out. May your anthologies make sense and your VHS tapes behave.